I'm going to hold my phone because I have a couple of notes, things that I want to make sure to not forget. So forgive me, I promise I'm not like scrolling anything cool. My name is Laura. I went to Boone High School a minute ago. When I checked in, she had to like scroll to get to my birth year, and I was like, this feels really nice. Great. I went to the school, but when this part didn't exist, so that's how old I am. And I work at Iowa State University right now, but the project I am here for has nothing to do with Iowa State, and it has to do with a historical place in town that I'm wondering if any of you know about. So there was once a president long before all of you were born, Dwight Eisenhower. He married a woman named, anybody know? It was like a tiny little history lesson. Do you know who President Eisenhower's wife's name was? Mamie! Ding, ding, ding! Not too hard, but also like history's not my best subject. It's like the two things that I know. Mamie Eisenhower was born here in Boone. Mamie Eisenhower, her family was here for a period of time. There's like a long history. Anyway, her birthplace is one of two things that have been named after her as a presidential, familial, historical type of situation. So the Mamie birthplace, who knows where it is? Yes, nod along with me, you know where it is. It's like right around the corner. Who's ever been inside, like not driven by on the street, but who has ever like been inside of the birthplace before? That's okay. I lived a lot of years in Boone before I had ever been inside. I think it was like 3 years ago was the first time that I went inside there. So yeah, you're good, you're good. Okay, so how many of you think that you have like a grandparent or a family member who is older and retired and likes to travel and likes to do historical kinds of things? When my grandparents first retired, they were like travel bugs and they did all the history things, whatever. I am not in that stage of life yet, but I am here because we are trying to bridge the gap between us who are really comfortable with our technology and that stage of life, and those people who are itching to travel and to explore and to learn some new things and to maybe visit some unique towns and some cool things in unique towns like Boone. So the Mamie Birthplace is run by a foundation board. I'm a member of the foundation board, but the actual work happens because of volunteers that we have. And they go in 4 days a week and they give tours to anybody who walks in. And these volunteers can remember more things than I can keep track of on any given day about interesting points of history, really cool artifacts, and they walk through each room in this small house that is just like loaded full of historical artifacts and some really interesting looking things that kind of put you back into the years of when Mamie Dowd, then later Mamie Eisenhower, was born and lived there a really, really, really long time ago, right? So it's preserving a little bit of history and some really interesting things that kind of tie us back to Boone and to our hometown. What I am asking you for is help on a creative marketing side of things to help us promote the Mamie Eisenhower Birthplace as a tourist attraction and as a neat thing for people to do, maybe while they're already here in Boone. Maybe they come to visit the railroad, maybe it's Thomas the Tank weekend, or like maybe they're doing rail explorers and they're like, oh, what else is in Boone? Or maybe they are here for other reasons and there's an opportunity that they can spend 30 minutes to an hour learning a little bit of something really interesting, and it benefits. Basically the money that people pay to be able to get in just helps with the upkeep of the house purely. Like there's no profit going on. It is officially a 501c3, I believe, nonprofit. And so everything that we do out of the goodness of our hearts and because we believe it's really cool to like preserve some bits of history of Boone. But we could definitely use your help. So all of the volunteers who spend so much of their time, Thursdays through Sundays during open season, giving these tours and talking to visitors, they are all of our combined ages and then some. They're not nearly as comfortable with technology. They're not nearly as comfortable with photos, with video, and they maybe think that marketing looks like taking out an ad in a print newspaper, and you and I all know that that's not really where marketing is in the year 2024. So I I could use your help bridging the gap between what we are able to do and what we know about this historical landmark in Boone, and getting the word out and having some tools to be able to share interesting little tidbits to get people's, kind of get people's attention about it, if you will. Specifically, our thinking is like 2 short commercial videos, 15 to 30 seconds. These do not need to be 5-minute long productions, but these are things that we could share on Facebook, because we know that our grandparents' generation is very much still on Facebook and getting some information there. Things that we could use on our website, things that we could use in tandem with other promotions, getting people to come and visit Boone, getting people who were maybe all around Boone to come and visit the birthplace specifically. And one of the tricky things about it that I think makes it a really creative project, as somebody who has done marketing myself, is we only have to work with the things that are in the birthplace that are old, right? And so having a little bit of that creative eye to be able to translate, like making it appealing to come and learn a little bit about history, and knowing very well that the photos and the artifacts and the things we have to work with are not getting any newer. As a matter of fact, they're looking more and more dated as we continue and as technology advances. And so looking at different ways that we could try some promotional opportunities. We have a very active Facebook page run by one of our volunteers, because that is our target demographic of people who are paying attention to Facebook right now. We've got information on our website, and so really what we're looking for is some of those interesting visual tools to be able to help us out. We are also very creatively open to, if this is a project that sounds interesting from a video standpoint, or if it sounds interesting just as a whole, we're open to other creative problem-solving measures. For example, maybe if you have a background in photography or an interest in photography, coming in and taking some updated photos to be able to use for our marketing materials. There are a lot of different ways that we could look at this from a true problem-solving kind of method. The videos have been on our wish list for a little while, so they're kind of our top of mind and our top priority. But we also know that you all are very creative thinkers and have a lot of great skills to be able to use. So we're creatively open to other ideas as well. With that, does anyone have any questions for me?
Is there a specific date that this you would want this done by?
That is flexible. The open season for the Birthplace for tours is June 1 until October, whatever the last, generally October 30-ish. So this is a project that could be completed at the end of a semester. This is a project that could be completed at any point in time between now and the next open season. There's a lot of flexibility with when that would happen. I think in my ideal world, we would have some assets ready to be able to use by May. So that's like a very, very generous, you are blessed, a very generous deadline that we're looking at, because the Birthplace is seasonal. Any other questions? Anything else I missed? I should also say, as a side note, a couple of years ago, our website was built by an Edge student, so that was pretty exciting. So we've been gradually building upon what it is that we're able to do as a Birthplace, and with some new board members and some different ideas. So.